probably fair to say that Nintendo's E3 2015 digital event had a few strange fake-outs. A new Metroid Prime turned out to be a multiplayer-focused title with Samus entirely absent, and after something clearly Zelda-themed debuted, it became clear that this new title, The Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes, is also rather similar to that multiplayer-focused concept. After the success of the rather brilliant A Link Between Worlds, Nintendo clearly wanted to do something different with that same engine. The result is Triforce Heroes, a Zelda spin-off that seems to borrow heavily from both the aforementioned title and from Four Swords Adventures, this time banding 3 different versions of Link, controlled by 3 different players, together for puzzle-focused adventures. Rather than competitive as Four Swords occasionally was, Triforce Heroes is entirely focused on the cooperative, right down to the 3 players sharing their life hearts. Taking a hit, therefore, has an impact on the whole team, as does collecting new hearts to replenish health. Essentially, if one of you fails, you are all going to fail. All new to the series is the totem mechanic, which does pretty much exactly what you'd expect something of that name to do. One link will pick up another, and if the third link does the same, you can have a 3-story stack of links plodding around the dungeon. The bottom link always controls the walking, and whichever is on top has no movement control at all, which does feel a little weird, but they also have full access to their weaponry. You know, it's a strange system, but you definitely get used to it, and I definitely did over the half an hour or so I had with the game. Forest, the first dungeon we played, leans into teaching this mechanic in particular. Switches are regularly placed on top of tall plinths that are otherwise unreachable, and the boss of the dungeon is actually a giant version of the classic Zelda enemy, the Chew, and it has a multi-tiered weak point system, meaning that you can only hit it in certain situations by actually toteming up and having higher up links use their bow on it. The totem is just one mechanic, and traditional Zelda puzzle solving also plays into the cooperative mechanics and weapons in other interesting ways. At one point, our team of Links needed to cross a huge pit, and there seemed to be no typical traditional Zelda-style puzzle solution to get across there. The solution was actually all based around the unique weapons we'd picked up, and teamwork. So one Link had access to a gust-blowing device that was used to blow the other 2 Links over the gap to safety. And then we had to obviously figure out how to bring that last Link over, because he couldn't blow himself across. The solution was really deceptively simple, which is that another guy had picked up the boomerang, and he could just use the boomerang to hook that guy in the classic Zelda way and drag him across the gap. If you think about the traditional Zelda weapon set, it's easy to see how these sorts of puzzles can play out when each Link is limited to one weapon. So, other solutions, they might involve stuff like a player placing their bombs and another player using their weapon of choice to shift it to a key location. Ammunition and all that sort of thing is no real concern, as this game actually recycles A Link Between Worlds' stamina-based weapon usage system, and that feels pretty welcome here, because you don't really want to be going around slicing shrubs and things in order to get new ammo. It's easier when you're trying to collaborate with others that it recharges quite quickly. With all that said, this really all sounds so far so Zelda, right? The puzzles and the feel of the game are all pretty familiar, it's just now there are 3 players. Other cute Nintendo touches ensure that even players less vocal than us, because we did a lot of shouting at each other throughout this demo, will be able to communicate. 8 buttons at the bottom of the touchscreen allow you to convey basic emotions and instructions with cute little Link emoticons. These will celebrate or call an ally over or ask them to use their weapon or ask them to get ready to totem up. And of course you can express frustration. There's a great little one that just sort of says, "No!" Also displayed is key information about your allies, including what weapon they have at their disposal and all that sort of stuff. The demo we played did a great deal to kill my skepticism about the concept of the game. We had some great fun with our half an hour with Triforce Heroes, and the 3 of us were shouting out instructions to each other, getting frustrated, laughing, and at one point I accidentally, you'll see it on this video, tossed one of the guys into a pit in the middle of a totem, and he shouted out quite a lot. And that was funny, it reminded me of the feeling of when you get 4 people on one of the new Super Mario Bros. Games and you spend half your time trying to get through the level together, and you spend the other half of your time tripping each other up. So yeah, Triforce Heroes definitely scratches that classic Nintendo itch in that it's just really good fun. The worry, however, sits with the execution. The core of the game is 3 players only, with puzzles devised that way. If there's 2 of you, it's as useless as having 1 of you, and it only opens up a competitive arena mode for 2 players. Worse, if you're in 3 player and somebody drops out, that's just instantly a game over. That actually in particular seems rather cruel and limiting to the value of the package. And though we're told that there will be some sort of single player component for people who just want to play alone, Nintendo wasn't actually ready to talk about or demo how that'll work at E3. Triforce Heroes is scheduled for the back end of the year, so Nintendo has quite a bit of time to smooth out those issues, figure out how to make it so, people who might struggle to get 3 people together can have a good time with it. The important thing so far, I guess, is that the core of the game is really, really rather good fun. It gave our crew a much needed break to yell excitedly at each other during the middle of E3, so this is one we're going to watch with some interest.